What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this week's episode of NKU Sports Break. As we finished up our coaches interviews, I'm so excited to be bringing you guys a whole new round of content as we get to chatting with our senior staff. I'm joined today by Jeff Baldwin. Jeff, how's it going?
Going pretty good. I see the sun out and I see students walking on campus. So it's a nice change.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I feel like we're just missing people. It's so good to be back into as close to the swing of things as we can be right now.
Yeah, it's nice to see coaches. We've got some staff members in the office. Obviously, we're not all back at the same time, and we're all social distancing and wearing our masks. So if you don't recognize somebody from the nose up, you're not going to know who they are. But luckily, we've seen each other for a while.
Speaking of social distancing, I know that the Go Norse Fund golf outing is a great way that people can be getting some of their need for sports in while being outside. Everybody's spread out. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so our annual golf outing in the past couple of years has been held in the spring. We've had it in June, which, as we all know, was right when COVID was hitting. So we made this tough decision of pushing it back. And by moving it to September, it gave us a better idea of what we could and what we couldn't do with social distancing. I mean, we had 150 golfers signed up. This is an event that we sell out every year, and we were going to do everything we could to make it happen. Our staff worked really hard on kind of changing the format rather than having our typical shotgun start where everybody shows up at the same time. We did individual tee times. That way gave everybody the opportunity to get there, space out, get everything set. And it also gave us an opportunity to engage with our donors a little bit more. But the crazy part is, and something I talked to everybody when they showed up, is that is the first NKU Athletics event that we've had since March. Wow. And when you put it in perspective, it was kind of a special day because we got to share that with our donors and our supporters, and the fact that we all came back together to support student athletes and to support our Norse. That was a great day. It was a phenomenal day.
So if the donors are interested in making recurring donations or anything like that, what does the donation renewal process look like this year?
So we started, renewals went out the last couple of weeks. We mailed them out, and we're also going to do some web-based stuff here pretty soon. But the renewal process is pretty simple. We try to make it as painless as possible. One, you can respond to the piece of information we sent to you. You can go online and renew, make a donation, or you can call McKinsey or my staff, and we can walk you through the process. We try to make it as easy as possible right now for our donors because we still need the support. We still have student athletes on campus. We have student athletes in class. We have student athletes living in dorms. We're providing scholarships. We're paying for room and board, paying for academic services, strength and conditioning because they're still coming in to work out. We're taking care of the healthcare, their healthcare while they're on campus through our sports medicine department. So just because we don't have sports, as we all heard that they canceled sports this fall, but just because we don't have sports this fall doesn't mean we have student athletes that we're not taking care of. We've got 250 student athletes on campus that we're still trying to provide the best education opportunities for them to get a degree and also compete in athletics.
It is no secret that NKU absolutely values their athletes. I know that fundraising efforts in the past have brought in a tremendous amount of support. How did you guys do last year?
It's just surprising. Amid COVID, we raised, it was over $1.2 million last year, which is the most I've seen in a long time. Our donors have gotten behind our department and our student athletes and our coaches to the point where it's awe-inspiring. Talking to people during the shutdown and during COVID, the conversations weren't so much about, oh, I miss going to the games, oh, I miss seeing my friends. It was, I miss seeing the impact on the student athletes. And even at the golf outing in the past, that's a place where we always have our student athletes there to interact with our donors. But to keep things safe for everybody, we didn't have student athletes there. It was coaches only. And our donors, that was the one thing that was missing from that event, was just the connection that our donors have with student athletes. At NKU, we have the opportunity, because we're so small, to really create that environment where our donors get to know who they're supporting. And that's important to us, because that's what drives success in athletics departments. That's what drives success in becoming student athletes and becoming citizens, is the ability to see an impact and know where it came from.
No doubt, absolutely. I personally, in my limited time with athletics, you can tell it's like a family. Everybody is there to support everybody, and that 100% sounds like it extends through the donors. And it just is so important that we have this close-knit community when everything is kind of going up and who knows what's going to happen the next day. Being able to lean on each other is all we've got right now.
Yeah, the phone calls and emails and text messages that we got from donors, not just when we shut down in the spring, but over the summer when things weren't as they usually were, and then into this fall when we canceled sports, their outreach to us asking, what can we do? How can we help? How are you guys doing? Has been tremendous. Just their willingness to step out and check in on us, check in on the student athletes. It is that family atmosphere. And then as a staff, we've all been together for quite a number of years. It's encouraging when something like this happens. You have a staff that you know you can trust and you can rely on, and things will get done. And that's how we operate, because we're all a family. We all rely on each other. We all have our things that we're in charge of, we're responsible for, and we know it's going to get done. We know it's going to get taken care of because there's some accountability there.
With that accountability and everything, I know everyone has been working so hard to create new opportunities for donors to connect and get involved. And with the golf outing no longer taking place in the spring, I've heard works of a gala for April 2021. What's that going to look like?
Yeah, so the last couple of years, we've had our fall gala in the fall. It's been in September at Great American Ballpark. This past year, we actually decided to bring it back to campus. So the goal is to have our gala in the arena. It was scheduled for September. So literally four weeks from now, we were supposed to have our gala. But with obviously the current circumstances, that it wasn't the opportunity, it wasn't the time to bring in 500 of our fans into a space to help raise money and support our student athletes. So we decided to back up to April. The Go North Fund board, our advisory board, has worked extremely hard in helping us define what that event needs to be in order to generate the support that we need for the athletics department. So we moved it to April. It's a larger venue, so we need as many members of North Nation as possible to get out. But it's going to be a fun event. I mean, we have live music, we have auctions, we have dinners, there's dancing. Student athletes hopefully will be there if we can get through all this COVID stuff. We'll see what it looks like come April, but we're all pretty excited about it. It's been one of our largest fundraising events for the last 4 years. We've raised over $100,000 at every one of them, which is a huge impact on our student athletes. And our board has really gotten behind this event, and they've made it a marquee event for them to push and make sure it's successful. So we're looking forward to it. I'm just ready to get everybody in one spot so we can talk about NKU athletics again.
Absolutely. And as we look forward to that, we're going to end on a little bit of a warm and fuzzy at looking back at your time at NKU Athletics. What is your favorite NKU Athletics memory?
Oh gosh. It probably goes back to when the basketball team made the tournament for the first time. And the game itself and being there was pretty cool. But I think the part that hit home to me was I was talking to a member of the women's golf team after that happened, and they were flying out to Arizona to play in a tournament. And they left Cincinnati before the Horizon League tournament happened. So our basketball team had just left to go play. And she said when they left the airport, I mean, nobody really recognized them. And then after the tournament, the basketball team, after their golf tournament, the basketball team had won the Horizon League tournament. They're going to the NCAA tournament. They flew back into Cincinnati. Members of our women's golf team were getting an applause walking through the terminal at the airport because they had the NKU logo on their shirt. And it was kind of the culmination of everything, what the success of one program means to an entire department. They said they were in tears because they were getting applause from people they had no idea who they were, but just because they were a Norse. And that's probably the most special thing that I've witnessed.
That really just reinforces that everyone here is a family. We're all doing everything that we can, and that love spreads around, and it's something that sticks with you.
It does.
All right, Jeff, thank you so much for coming on to the Sports Break today. Everyone give NKU Norse a follow on social media to be able to stay up to date with everything NKU Athletics and to hear more about opportunities for fundraising or if you want to get involved as a donor. Thank you so much.
Great. I appreciate it, Carly. Thank you.